welcome to week 3 video assignment. My name is Jacob Church. So today we're going to answer the question, how did African peoples respond to the imposition of colonial rule? Here's a little overview of the lecture ahead, and let's get into it. So as we've kind of touched upon in previous lectures, Europeans had various motives to expand their imperialistic reach to Africa. Most of the time the reason for this was for financial and economic gain, purely based out of the interests of that particular European country. So in order to enhance their reputation while at the same time further their political and economic prowess, European powers declared their involvement in Africa as a selfless act to better civilize these so-called uncivilized people. However, despite the fact that Europeans viewed these people as needing to be saved and civilized, the actual fact of the matter is that most African peoples wanted nothing to do with the Europeans. Furthermore, their response to the imposition of colonial rule was one spawned from resistance and collaboration in order to preserve their traditional way of life. African peoples worked tirelessly to fight back and regain their once had freedoms from colonial oppressors. Many of the resistances brought about by the African people were ones birthed out of long-standing opposition against their colonial rulers. The resistance aspect of the African people's response to European colonial rule can be exemplified by the Vasalou Empire. The Vasalou Empire, ruled by Samori Touré, who's shown in this picture right here, was an enormous empire in West Africa between the Niger River and the coast. Samori wanted nothing to do with the Europeans and their colonial efforts, and knowing that the French were starting to encroach on his territory, Touré made a deal with British traders for modern firearms in order to make war against the French. This resistance lasted almost 20 years until the French finally defeated Touré. Another response to the imposition of colonial rule by African people was one of collaboration. African collaboration with Europeans was carried out through diplomacy, adaptation, and alliances, most of which were in exchange for military support and wealth. One example of this is King Nabongo Mumia of the Wanga community in what is known today as Kenya. The king was easily convinced to support colonization due to European promises of making him an extremely powerful political leader in Eastern Africa. When the British fought to subdue the surrounding tribes and villages, King Nabongo sent his warriors to help fight along the British. However, after the conquering of these surrounding tribes, Britain declared the Republic of Kenya a colony, making the need for African political leaders obsolete and subsequently breaking their collaboration and promise with King Nabongo. Thank you.